So hello guys, I will go over a trade I took on Friday last week, and it's quite a good trade because the trade itself we took was on live trading in Discord while people were watching, so there were quite a few guys that could have caught it, and I know one of them caught the same trade, so good for him for trusting the analysis. Now the trade itself was really easy and it made 80 pips. So how it went was, when we analyzed, I noticed that these lows were induced. So my whole daily perspective was bearish to take out these lows, meaning my intraday target were this. Now, when we came up to the market, it was Frankfurt session, and during Frankfurt in general, it manipulates up to 4 times. So what do we expect during Frankfurt? Well, obviously the manipulation to happen. So now let me see, what's this? Okay, let me just come back here and scroll down to the Frankfurt. So it starts where at 9 for me. Yeah, so Frankfurt manipulation, let me just check. So we got 1, got 2, you got 3. And in general now, 4th will probably be the end of the manipulation, then the real move should start. So I would expect price to actually maybe sweep some liquidity in here before, and you can try a buy here. Obviously, we don't take count of the direction of intraday, because that's what we teach. And what happened? We swept the lows, and liquidity was targeting the point that was of an interest to us, which was all of this filling here. We filled all of that liquidity. So this was our during the Frankfurt manipulation. This was the target. And I actually called it right here, and we got in at around that wick. Some of us could have taken the engulfing candle as confirmation, but I don't do confirmations, and it's not the same as supply and demand or smart money. So again, it's just different. So like don't expect people to trade the same way in different systems. But you can use this as confirmation if you need something to be sure that this will react. Most of us just know this. Again, the price action, the way it delivered, was pretty straightforward. So first reactive point was this here. We have a concept for it that is called IWI, that gave us a reaction in that zone. So where was it? I think like overall in this zone somewhere, if I remember correctly, there was a simple reaction, but it didn't give us the trade we wanted to. So yeah, there was our first reaction. Again, this reaction, well, I was expecting this to be my reactive point. I don't think if this was the point that actually made the market reverse. Maybe it was. Let me see. No, not exactly. So I was expecting that. Obviously, it wasn't. So the short was still running. And as our intraday target, I was targeting the lows. Let me see. I covered the highs. It was around 5.3. I think it gave me around 15, maybe 13. I don't even count hours because I think it just doesn't matter how much hours do we get. What matters is how well you know the system and how well you know where the targets will be. So the 640 level or intraday lows were the main objective for us for intraday trading. And maybe some of us caught this short from here because it took this liquidity that was induced. Again, now what do we expect next? Maybe the dead zone or lack of liquidity. will actually start pushing the price to the side. So again, we tap into something to the left. This point of interest, you could say, but do you think that this will give us the main reversal? No, I don't think so. I think it actually came from the 747 zone. Let me just check this actually. No, maybe it was this 759 or even this 771. Yeah, 771 was actually the reversal point. If I look at it better, and what I expect now is for price to actually take some sort of liquidity before continuing. So again, that liquidity for me, I would consider either here, because this actually failed to pull back to that zone, or actually this line here, not that one, to continue. So maybe a restack from this level could have been a possibility. And there's like easy entries right here. The way we trade our system, you could have gotten in few buys that got into ping pong, but I don't do those because I think they're stupid in a way. And I think it's just marketing trick for people to do, like this ping ponging stuff. So everybody who promotes ping ponging, I don't think they're good traders at all. But that's my opinion. Anyway, we tap into that level that had to be mitigated. And there was confirmation entry here. You could have taken a short again. And what do we expect is, now think about it. What we have to take is this liquidity, then we have to mitigate something deeper to push the price lower. So what I would expect is either for this point to be mitigated or for something above here to be mitigated before we actually continue to these lows, because another reactive area might come below this level, 722, I think. Because this is again your inducement level. This is a liquidity level, sorry. And what I want to see is if actually there was a news or something, it could actually push the price up and down to that level. Obviously, we are going by the minute. Okay, so we got here okay, so we tap into that level. Now I expect a pullback. And okay, so we got this. We didn't actually mitigate the lows exactly where the reaction came from. Was 643, which is actually just right below this equal lows. So I mean, what do you expect? Again, we expect that the news came, pushed price down, pushed price up, and we expect a pushing of the price down probably. Now, again, I still think this will be the level of mitigation, or this will be the level of mitigation. Here, I think it will mitigate a bit later, if that makes sense. Okay, and we take out the daily lows. And I think once you take the daily lows, which was the induced level for us, according to our intraday perspective, now you can look for buys, because that would start getting a higher probability for us. And now the possible targets can be this. I think it can be like really high, even up to this wick here. I think even to here it could work. It could work to here, I think, even. Now, I don't know exactly where the price came because I only traded the short that day and I only take one trade during the day. But I mean, the target was met. If we look at the shorts, where was it? It was, I think, somewhere here. 50, something close to this. 50 and was 14. I think that would be a fair choice. I don't like to do the 2 pip stop losses because I think that's stupid, especially if you trade like FTMO accounts or any other. The spread will kill your entries more often than not. and you expect reaction inside of the range. So I don't over refine on 1 minute. I like to take it from 5 minutes most of the time. So because that's my way of taking trades, I cover a bit more, like more than supply and demand traders, more like SMC traders, but that gives me a pretty good enough win rate. Now, again, if you look at after that daily level get mitigated, what we expect is for price to pull back to another level, which I would say is here to rebalance the range before we actually continue higher. Yes, sir, that looks good. Now, another point of reaction maybe could come after we run these highs of the Frankfurt that we created. Let me just see. Yes, so we take that out. It's a small reaction probably. I never checked that day's price action after it took out the lows. I just knew it will take out the lows. And it just continued. But again, this looks like a good enough price action to me. And it will probably continue during that day, maybe pull back a bit later, but seems like it's pulling back after mitigating the Asia liquidity. And again, it's pretty much the same most of the days. If you're trading elite system, you'll see pretty similar entry methodology. But that's pretty much it. Took the short, made a 14R. It was called during the live stream on Discord. And obviously, if you guys want to learn this way, you can come and join us. So yeah, thank you for listening and have a nice rest of the week.